What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is The Fan Awakens. My name is Eli, and I'm here to talk about my streaming picks of the week. Now, you may know me from my other content covering Star Wars and Star Wars Celebration. I do have some Kenobi reviews and discussions coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. But this here is just something that I used to do, and I really enjoy doing because as much as I love talking Star Wars, I just love movies in general. So this video is really just me recommending some movies, and hopefully you guys, enjoy some of them. But without further ado, I'm gonna get it started. And the first movie that I'm gonna recommend, and to be clear, all the movies on this list are on Netflix, at least in the U.S. Um, I am going to do more of these with like Prime Video and Hulu and all that, but I just thought for the first one, I'm just gonna cover Netflix stuff, and this is just my own personal list of some content that I really enjoy, and I hope that some of you have enjoyed. If not, I hope you soon enjoy it or give it a shot. But if not, regardless, here we go. First one, Hustle. Now this one is pretty new to Netflix. It's a Netflix original, um, starring Adam Sandler. Now I am a big Adam Sandler fan, but I'm not necessarily. I don't really love a lot of the Netflix movies made in the last 10 years or so. I grew up watching a lot of Adam Sandler. You know, you think of The Waterboy and Rain Over Me. Um, but he has a lot of sneaky, very good movies. Like he has his goofy stuff for sure. He has all his friends, the Kevin James and the David Spades and all that. But I think that Adam Sandler's at his best when you take him outside of that comfort zone, when you take him away from what he knows and what is, I don't want to say necessarily say easy for him, but you put his talents in the hands of someone else, and I think that he really shines. There's another movie I've recommended a bunch called the Meyerowitz Stories, also on Netflix, which is great. But this one, Hustle, it's a movie where it's about basketball at its core, obviously, but it's not another sports movie. Like, yes, it doesn't do anything crazy, but it's such a movie full of heart, and you have so many actual NBA players in the movie, and usually that's like, it's gonna be like whatever. But I gotta tip my hat. The guys who are in the film actually put in a lot of great performances. Um, Notably, there's Adam Sandler. He's basically a talent agent. He's a scout for the 76ers. So he's going all over the world trying to find players to scout for the team for the draft, internationally mostly. And he finds a kid in Spain, and that just sort of launches them into this big journey trying to get him into the league, and the front office isn't exactly with it. I don't want to say too much, um, but this movie, it feels sort of like a Rocky, like those sports movies, an underdog story. Sandler carries this movie with his heart, but you have the other main character, played by Juancho. Oh my gosh, what is his name? Hernan Gomez. He was on the Jazz, but he's fantastic in the movie. And then the other NBA lead is Anthony Edwards, who's only been in the league a few years, but I remember an interview with him where it came off as really cocky when they're asking him like, okay, what else could you do? Because he plays basketball and he raps and he says, anything you want me to do, I can do it, and I'll be the best at it. And he was uh such a scene stealer in this movie. I don't think he's ever had any acting experience previously, but I think that after his NBA career, he can certainly take up acting if he'd like to. I think he was very good. This movie's full of heart. It's about 2 hours. It doesn't overstay its welcome. I don't think that it's going to like wow anybody with its story in general, but it's super heartwarming, and I think that the acting's very good. You have Adam Sandler, you have Ben Foster, Queen Latifah, um, and lots of cool cameos in there. So that's one I really really dig. It is rated R, but I could have been fooled. It feels like a PG-13 movie. I think they may see the F word a few times, but other than that, I think that's pretty much the extent of it. Next up, we have Get On Up, one of my favorite Chadwick Boseman films. Chadwick's one of my favorite actors of all time. The late great. He's just. It's hard to put into words. Obviously, a lot of people know him from the Black Panther movies, which he was extraordinary in those. But he really, really, really. This is him at the top of his game. James Brown. It's the movie about James Brown life, coming from poverty. and sort of going against the odds and living in a house with abuse and having to grapple with that as his life went on, and how really he had no, the probability of him becoming who he was and having the influence he did is so slim, and he overcame those odds. And this movie doesn't really pull punches. It's a PG-13 movie, but Boseman's performance is one of my favorites. It's a movie that I like to go back to feel. I mean, part of it's inspirational, but it's also, I mean, it kind of puts a lot of things in perspective, seeing what he went through. Um, I know I've seen plenty of interviews with his family, James Brown's family, who, they thought he did a great job and honored him really well. And I remember there's a story of him going over to, I think it was James Brown's daughter's house, and trying on some of his clothes and just started dancing and just kind of getting into the role. So I think that I will almost always try to fit into Chadwick Boseman movie into these kind of videos wherever I can. I'm a huge fan, and I think that this one, I believe it's like 2 hours 20 minutes. If you give this one a shot, I don't think you'll be upset. If you like those, I know they're kind of formulaic, but those musical biopics, you think of like a Bohemian Rhapsody or Elvis that just came out. This is one of my favorites, and I am a sucker for them. But I'm quite a big fan of this one, so certainly give that one a shot if you got some time. From here, we will transition to The Harder They Fall. Now, this movie is very rated R. I want to be very clear about that. It's I want to say it's about 2.5 hours. Came out last year on Netflix, and it's by James Samuel. He made something special here. I'm a big fan of the Western. I grew up watching a lot of Westerns with my grandpa, and um, we're I'm Native American. My grandpa's Native American, so we always watch these movies, and the natives always have a certain role in the westerns. And I've always wanted to have more of like a western from a native perspective. This isn't that, but it is sort of putting the western, turning it on its head in a different way. It's super stylized. It almost feels sort of reminiscent of like it feels like there's a sprinkle of Tarantino in there. The cast is fantastic. You have like staples in the movie game like Idris Elba, Regina King. You have newcomers. It's hard to even say newcomers anymore because they've had so many great roles, but like Lakeith Stanfield, and then notably Jonathan Majors, who you may know him from something like he's playing Kang in the Marvel universe, so he was in Loki. Uh, he was in a few things on HBO. I'm forgetting the name of the show, but he's such a standout. He has so much energy and so much pop in this movie. Like every single scene he's in, and he's in it with these heavyweights of movie making, and he steals every single scene. Um, the soundtrack is fantastic. There's a lot of like there's some reggae vibes, reggae songs in there. But I think that just putting such a style on a genre that at times can feel bland to people. And if you're not a fan of the western, I think that this is an avenue in. Not necessarily. I don't think that if you like this one, you're gonna love all westerns or anything. But I think that it is different enough from what you're used to with a western that it could definitely be a nice, refreshing watch if you want to divulge in that. And I didn't want to be too long with this video. We're at about 8 minutes, 9 minutes. And so my last recommendation, and this is out of the blue, I usually don't recommend things outside of movies and the occasional series, um, especially not like reality type things. But I was captivated this week. I was captivated. I was swept up in this series. And when I was younger, I thought, oh, maybe I want to be a chef until like age 13. And I'm like, maybe not. Uh, I was like 5'6" with hoop dreams, which didn't work out, obviously. But Iron Chef, there's this new version of Iron Chef. It's on Netflix. It's only 8 episodes, but every episode is so good. I had a day off and I binged it. I binged the whole thing, and it is so good. I've recommended it to a couple people who don't normally watch cooking shows either, and they watched it and had a great time. And so I just think that if you, and it got me in the kitchen again, and I'm uh, paying a lot more attention to what I'm cooking, and I'm trying to do more things and be adventurous in the kitchen. I think it's such an inspirational show, and obviously I don't think that like these are chefs, these are professional chefs. It's not like I'm gonna go in my kitchen and make some crazy souffle thing or whatever they're making, but I just think it's such a fun watch, and it's well edited, and it's really good. The personalities on there are very good. Um, and Iron Chef is just, it got me going on a binge of cooking shows, and nothing has gotten me so like, nothing has ticked that passion box in me in a while. And I'm a big fan. So 8 episodes. It's on Netflix. Just came out. Um, but those are my recommendations for the week. I would love to hear yours, and I would love if you guys watch these movies. Let me know what you thought. Let me know in the comments. Reach out to me on my social medias. Let me know if you have any recommendations for me. I have a pretty wide taste, so um, I don't have much genre preference or anything like that. I'm certainly open to it. Another thing, if anyone's interested, and I'm still trying to figure out how exactly I would run it, but something I really want to do is make a movie club, akin to like a book club. So instead of reading a book every week or every month, we would pick a movie every week, and if it gets to the point, I'd probably, if we get enough people, I'd probably have a vote over a couple movies. But I like to curate a list of movies that I really love, and have a movie club where we all, we have a week to watch it, and then we'll convene. We'll discuss it. Maybe I'll make a video. Maybe I'll have people on the show. Maybe it'll all be through something like Discord. But if you are interested in joining the movie club, let me know. Reach out. Let me know in the comments. But again, thank you guys so much. This was kind of a spur of the moment video, and it's something that I want to keep doing consistently. So all the the likes, the subscribes, letting your friends know, posting about it all helps a ton. It all means the world to me. So again, thank you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, I'll see you next time. May the force be with you.